Imagine waking up to discover you've just become a multi-millionaire. Your heart races, your dreams explode until one cruel detail takes it all away. Winning the lottery is supposed to change your life forever. But what if I told you some lottery winners never see a penny of their fortune? Whether it's a tiny technicality, a heartless glitch, or bureaucracy gone wild, these true stories reveal the shocking truth behind lottery nightmares. Today, we're exposing real-life jackpot winners who walked away empty-handed, proving once and for all that sometimes the lottery ticket of your dreams could become your worst nightmare. Rachel Kennedy and Liam McCrohan's world stopped when they saw their numbers flash on screen, a massive £182 million jackpot. The young couple had been playing the lottery for weeks, sharing a laugh and a fantasy about what they'd do with a life-changing fortune. When their numbers matched, their minds went into overdrive. They celebrated with family, imagining a future free from financial worry, a new home, and a stable life they could only dream of. But their euphoria crashed to a halt when they called to claim their prize. The lottery representative informed them the ticket was never actually purchased because the automatic payment had failed. The bank had rejected the transaction and the ticket was never formally issued. A tiny, almost insignificant technicality, an automated bank transfer error, was all it took to snatch away a fortune that was so close they could almost touch it. The disbelief and gut-wrenching realization that a simple digital hiccup could cost them everything was a pain they'll never forget. They had the winning numbers, but not the winning ticket. How would you handle a loss so monumental knowing you were so agonizingly close? You think a bank glitch is bad? What about a slot machine with a mind of its own? Katrina Bookman was at a Queens, New York casino when the slot machine screen lit up with a glorious, impossible message. Cash out, $42,949,672.76. She took a selfie with the machine, her heart pounding with the thought of finally pulling her family out of poverty, putting her kids through college, and starting her own business. But her dream was shattered moments later. A casino employee told her the machine had malfunctioned and that her jackpot was gone, replaced with an offer of a complimentary steak dinner. She was told state gaming law prohibits payouts on faulty machines, even if they display a winning amount. The emotional whiplash from thinking you've won nearly $43 million to being offered a free meal is almost unimaginable. Katrina's lawyers fought for years, arguing the casino had a responsibility to ensure its machines worked properly. But the court sided with the casino. It was a cruel reminder that for some, the house always wins, even when you have what appears to be a winning ticket. But sometimes it's not the system that fails you, it's a simple human mistake. For Martin Todd and his wife Kay, a winning lottery ticket was a beautiful dream that quickly became a living nightmare. They had won a massive £3 million jackpot, and for a week they lived in a blissful haze of what-ifs. But their excitement turned to gut-wrenching panic when they couldn't find the ticket. For 6 long months, they frantically searched their house, their car, and their belongings, their hopes slowly fading with each passing day. By the time they realized the ticket was truly gone and finally tried to claim the prize, it was too late. The lottery's 30-day window to report a lost ticket had already passed. They spent the next 6 years locked in a grueling, stressful legal battle, but the rules were unbending, and the courts sided with the Lottery Commission. The agony of knowing they had won the money and had it slip through their fingers for a simple human mistake was a constant, haunting pain. Can you imagine the regret and frustration of losing a fortune you rightfully won, not to a glitch, but to a simple oversight? And if you think that's unfair, just wait until you hear this next story. On Christmas Day in 2017, thousands of people in South Carolina thought they'd received the greatest gift of all. A special holiday Jingle Bell Jackpots game had a software glitch, causing it to award winners more frequently than it was supposed to. For several hours, the system printed winning tickets non-stop. People were celebrating, calling family members with the good news and rushing to cash in their tickets. They believed a Christmas miracle had just happened. But the South Carolina Education Lottery quickly announced that all the winnings would be denied, labeling them as a computer programming issue that voided the results. The state refused to honor the thousands of tickets, crushing the holiday cheer and leaving many feeling betrayed and lied to. A simple glitch turned a day of celebration into a day of disappointment and anger, proving that sometimes even a winning ticket is worth nothing. That was a whole state's worth of heartbreak, but this next story proves that even a single mistake can cost you everything. Eric and Salvatore were two roommates who bought a lottery ticket together. They were living paycheck to paycheck, so the thought of winning big was a constant fantasy. When they checked the numbers and were sure it was a loser, they carelessly tossed the ticket in the trash. It wasn't until a few days later, while watching the news, that they saw the winning numbers again and realized their mistake. The ticket was for a massive $1 million. Salvatore, realizing the gravity of their error, frantically sifted through the garbage, but the ticket was gone. The roommates had lost their life-changing fortune to a moment of carelessness. What makes the story even more painful is the fact that the lottery has a protocol for lost or damaged tickets, but it requires proof. Without the physical ticket, their claim was impossible. How would you ever live with the knowledge that you had thrown a winning lottery ticket in the trash? It's a cruel twist of fate that shows how one moment of carelessness can cost you everything. But things only get crazier from here. Imagine winning a huge lottery jackpot only to discover that the state can't afford to pay you. That's exactly what happened to dozens of winners in Illinois. Due to a severe state budget crisis, the Illinois Lottery announced that winners of prizes over $25,000 would not be paid until the state government could pass a budget. The winners were given IOUs, leaving them in financial limbo. Many of the winners were struggling financially and needed the money to pay off debt or buy a house. Some were forced to wait for months, their lives on hold, while others were forced to hire lawyers and sue the state to get their money. For many, winning the lottery was supposed to be an escape from financial hardship, but instead it became a waiting game with the government, a bureaucratic nightmare that proved a government promise isn't always good enough. You'd think a state government would be the last one to let you down, but what about the lottery's own website? For John Cheeks, it was a moment of pure disbelief. When he checked the numbers on the DC Lottery website, he saw his ticket matched all the winning numbers for a colossal $340 million Powerball jackpot. He was overjoyed, sharing the news with his family and friends, ready to start a new life. But when he went to claim his prize, lottery officials told him there had been a mistake. The winning numbers displayed on the website were actually test numbers that were never supposed to be visible to the public. Cheeks was devastated. He had the winning ticket, but it was all based on a cruel technical error. This story begs the question, what is the responsibility of a lottery system when its own website shows a jackpot winner? For Cheeks, the emotional roller coaster from millionaire to zero was a nightmare. This story proves the lottery's own system can let you down, but in this next case, the winners brought their own doom upon themselves. For Mark and John Ross, their dream of a lottery win was built on a lie. The brothers, who worked at a convenience store, used a stolen debit card to buy a lottery ticket that ended up being worth $5 million. They were thrilled, believing their luck had finally turned around and that they had gotten away with a simple act of theft. They went to the lottery office, claimed the prize, and were on their way to a new life, but their good fortune was short-lived. A few days after claiming the prize, the real owner of the debit card reported it stolen, and police linked the transaction to the Ross brothers. They were arrested and the lottery prize was seized by authorities. Their act of stealing a debit card cost them a life-changing jackpot and landed them in jail. It's a classic case of karma, proving that you can't build a new life on someone else's misfortune. The last story was about people who tried to cheat the system, but this next one is about a system that seemed to cheat its own winner. Veronica Castillo was celebrating her birthday at a casino when a slot machine flashed an incredible message. Bonus prize $8,388,525.96. She was in shock, imagining all the things she could do with that kind of money. She immediately told her family and began to celebrate. But her joy quickly turned to despair when casino staff told her the machine had malfunctioned and the jackpot was invalid. The casino instead offered her a consolation prize of $80. Castillo, understandably, was furious. She had a picture of the screen, a clear sign that she had won, but the casino wouldn't budge. This heart-wrenching story is a stark reminder that in the world of casinos, even when the machine says you've won, it doesn't always mean you'll walk away with the prize. The pain of watching that dream disappear so quickly, replaced by a paltry offer, is a memory that will likely haunt her forever. It's one thing for a casino to deny your win, but what about when the government itself won't let you have the money? Kathleen Lambert's story is a different kind of heartbreaking. She won $1,000 in a scratch-off lottery game, a small but significant amount of money that would have helped her family pay some bills and get by. But when she went to claim her prize, she was told she couldn't have it. The reason? The money would be counted as income, and it would cause her to lose her crucial unemployment benefits. The state's archaic rules and a bureaucratic technicality forced her to choose between a one-time prize and the continuous support she needed to survive. She ultimately forfeited the $1,000, feeling angry and defeated. It's a story that highlights the cruel irony of a system that can penalize people for winning a small prize, forcing them to remain in a state of financial hardship to continue receiving benefits. These stories are a gut punch, aren't they? They show us the brutal, shocking reality behind a dream we all share. We've seen people lose a staggering £182 million to a simple bank glitch, a life-changing $43 million to a casino's cruel malfunction, and a hard-earned prize to a lost ticket. The heartbreak, anger, and disbelief are palpable in every single one of these accounts. They remind us that the lottery isn't just about winning, it's about the rules, the technicalities, the glitches, and the bureaucracy that can snatch it all away in an instant. The emotional toll of these losses is immeasurable, leaving a trail of shattered dreams and broken trust. These stories challenge the very idea of a lottery as a beacon of hope and a chance at a new life. They prove that sometimes winning the jackpot is just the first step in a brand new nightmare. So, is winning really worth it if your dreams can disappear just as fast as they arrive? Now that you've seen lottery dreams shattered, check out what happens when winners actually get the money. Spoiler alert, it's not always a happy ending.